is a stigma around substance abuse and addiction. Can you talk about your experience with that, both, personally and professionally?
Yeah, there definitely, especially if you are somebody who's hiding how much, how often, what you're using, you definitely have it in your head that there's a stigma out there. And for me being on that side of the coin and now on this side, I can see the people that are struggling very, very clearly from very far away, right? That you typically miss time. So like you're not, I always thought I was fooling someone with all these big excuses and these reasons why I would be late or wouldn't show up. Um, but I mean, the stigma that you can't get help or you're going to lose your job or people won't understand, that's all not true in my case. Um, I mean, by asking for help, I've gotten so much more support from my union than I could have ever imagined. The same holds true for my family. Everybody I've done some terrible things to people and they are all welcoming. Um, People love that I took responsibility for my actions and I changed. Like this, people, it's hard to change. And that's why I talk about the hitting the bottom. Like at first I was, how can I help people not have to go so far down the ladder before they get help? But it seems for most people they really have to go further down that, like, to actually commit to change. Like 100% change is not something everyone does all the time. But I mean, there's so much help out there. Like, and it's all confidential. Like I thought everybody would know. When I got out of that treatment center, I thought for sure everybody in my local, like I got a pretty small local union being here in Windsor. Like I thought everybody would know. Like so few people knew. Um, I mean, asking for help just opens a door for a new way of life. It's energetic. It's fun. It's like life's like an opportunity now instead of a burden or like oh I got to go to work today. Now it's like I get to go to work today. It's the whole attitude adjustment that happens by just putting down whatever you're doing every day and asking for help if you need it.
That leads to my next question about, what advice you would have for people in the industry, working in the trades who are struggling with this, or who maybe see a coworker struggling with this. Do you have any tips for them, any advice?
So there used to be a stigma. I think the stigma is changing. So the stigma was party, work hard, party harder, just show up for work, everything's cool. For sure, that's how it was when I first started. Uh, and now the stigma seems to be, um, don't bring that stuff to work for sure. Keep it at home. Uh, but for someone who's struggling today, it takes a lot of courage to step forward. But if you do, it's well worth it and beyond anything you can imagine, in a positive way. Like there's people out there, if you just call the Novo, they if there's somebody in the Windsor area and you call the Novo, they'll connect you with me. And I won't tell anybody anything about what you're doing. Or like some people start to make the call and they're not quite ready and they stay out there, right? And they're just scared to make that call because they're scared they're going to lose their job. And the biggest, for me, I could say, like, what if this doesn't work, right? Taking a big leap of faith, we'll say. If you admit you have a problem to your work and for some reason you can't do it, I just want to tell you you can do it. All you have to do is reach out and ask for help.
So just on that subject, so you are giving back. You've gone through this, and now you're helping other people through it. Is that something that was important to you? Is that part of the program as well?
It's definitely important to me. I didn't know it was going to work that way. Like another lesson that I've learned here in life over the last 5 years is like, the receiving is in the giving. So whenever I'm giving back, like something good's happening to me, I don't know what it is, but it always comes back to me. So to be able to give back, like, so. And then maybe I'll just touch on this analogy. I really, really worked well, and I've never heard it outside of De Novo, but it's kind of like being an apprentice, right? Like most trades have an apprenticeship program. There's a journeyman, like a mentorship that happens. That's kind of what happens in recovery too. You go in there, you get you mentor, someone mentors you. You get a sponsor, we call it. So I went out and got a sponsor, and I can compare it to, like journeyman's taking me under their wing when I was an apprentice. They're just there to help. Like they're not there to judge. They're not there to ridicule. They're there to share their experience, strength, and hope, with the hope that you too can find what we found, which is a whole new way of life, much more happy and sustainable than using. It's more dependable, reliable, respectable. Um, so yeah, like I have a sponsor and I have 3 sponsees. I've worked the steps with a sponsor. I've brought sponsees through the steps, and I started a meditation class on Tuesday nights through Zoom. Just giving back what worked for me, because that's what people did for me. And if everyone just keeps doing that, we'll be helping more and more people find this new way of life.
Well, thank you so much, Rob, for your time, and thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. I'm sure it will hit home with our readers, and it's really inspiring stuff. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.